of AI like your smart assistant that never sleeps. It drafts reports, summarizes data, and even helps doctors scan medical records faster. But it still needs human judgment, reasoning, and creativity to turn output into impact. It's like in cricket or football. Various technologies doesn't replace the umpire. It supports better decisions. You can also think of AI as a skilled office assistant. Skilled, fast, and always ready to perform. But you are the one who guides the work, decides what needs to be done first, and ensures everything stays on track. Together, you and AI play to each other's strengths. You bring intuition, leadership, and judgment. AI brings speed, precision, and endurance. When this partnership works well, it feels like watching a perfectly coordinated office workflow. Clear, efficient, and time saving. This course is your guide to building that partnership. An introduction to a world where AI is not a threat, but a teammate. You'll explore how generative AI works, how to use it responsibly, and how to make it your creative and professional assistant. Because the future of work isn't humans versus AI, it's humans with AI. And the ones who learn to collaborate will lead the change. As someone rightly said, AI won't replace humans, but those who embrace it will outpace those who resist it. So let's not fear the future. Let's build it one smart step at a time. You might have seen scam alerts pop up on your phone. A message flagged as suspicious, a warning from your bank, or a notification from the RBI, Reserve Bank of India. These alerts often appear before you even notice something unusual. Behind these timely warnings is a smart system quietly working to protect you. That system is powered by artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence, or AI, is the science focused on creating systems that can perform tasks requiring human-like intelligence. It enables machines to perceive, reason, learn, and make decisions based on data. AI isn't a single tool. It's a field of many smart techniques. These techniques help machines solve problems, recognize patterns, and respond to situations in real time. When your phone detects a scam message, it's AI doing the heavy lifting. To make these intelligent systems, AI relies on a core technique called machine learning. Instead of following fixed instructions, machine learning enables machines to learn from data and improve through experience. For example, banks use it to study thousands of past scam messages. The system begins to recognize patterns, certain words, sender behavior, or timing, and uses that knowledge to flag similar messages in the future. This ability to continuously learn and improve makes AI more effective over time. But what happens when the data is too complex? That's where deep learning steps in. It's designed to handle large volumes of unstructured data like voice recordings, images, or long text messages. Deep learning uses artificial neural networks, structures inspired by how the human brain works. These networks can automatically discover intricate patterns and relationships within data that simpler models might miss. In fraud detection, it can spot scams that are cleverly disguised or hidden in multimedia content. It's like having a highly trained analyst who can catch even the most subtle tricks. And now, we have entered an even more advanced stage of AI called generative AI, one that doesn't just analyze data, but creates new content. It can write text, generate images, compose music, or simulate scam messages for training. Banks and regulators use it to prepare for future threats by generating realistic examples of what scams might look like. This helps improve awareness and response systems, making fraud detection more proactive. Within generative AI, one of the most powerful innovations is the large language models, or LLMs. These models are trained on massive amounts of text data from books, articles, and the internet, enabling them to understand, generate, and communicate in human-like language. LLMs can read scam messages, summarize them, and even write alerts in clear, simple language. Most LLMs support multiple languages and help make communication faster and more accurate. However, for most Indian languages, you can use Bhashini, focused on Indian languages, built in collaboration with the Government of India. You might have interacted with them through chatbots, translation tools, or automated customer support. Each of these technologies forms a layered system that supports fraud detection, citizen services, healthcare, education, and more. So the next time you receive a scam alert, remember there's a smart system working behind the scenes. It's learning, adapting, and helping us scale our efforts. AI may be the engine, but it's our responsibility to steer it wisely. Imagine starting your day with a weather update that doesn't just say rain likely, but tells you to carry an umbrella because showers may begin around 4 p.m. That's generative AI, in action turning raw data into useful human-like communication. From traffic alerts to legal research, generative AI is quietly becoming part of our everyday lives. Let's begin with something familiar: traffic. In cities like Bengaluru, AI-driven traffic control systems help reduce congestion at busy junctions. These systems don't just collect data, they generate real-time summaries and predictions. You might have seen live maps, such as Google Maps showing red, orange, and yellow to show the traffic conditions of the road. Even they indicate roadblocks and faster routes to your destination. They simulate future traffic patterns and suggest better routes, helping commuters and planners alike. If you've ever received a traffic update that explains delays and offers alternatives, generative AI likely helped write it. Healthcare is another area where generative AI is making a real impact. Doctors use it to summarize patient records and draft clinical notes. In rural areas, AI-powered centers of excellence provide real-time health insights and remote monitoring. Imagine a system that reads lab reports and writes a clear summary for both doctor and patient. That's not futuristic, it's already happening. In education, generative AI is helping teachers and students in new ways. It creates personalized quizzes, explains complex topics in simple language, and drafts feedback on assignments. In Tripura, AI-generated images of students' career aspirations have boosted motivation and reduced dropout rates. A maths teacher might ask the system to generate practice questions for a student struggling with algebra. The AI doesn't just pull questions, it creates new ones tailored to the student's level. Now think about official work drafting policies, writing reports, or preparing presentations. Generative AI helps civil servants summarize long documents, translate content into multiple languages, and even draft policy briefs. For example, if a department needs to prepare a report on water usage trends, AI can analyze the data and generate a first draft. Officers can then refine it, saving hours of manual effort. Law is another field where generative AI is transforming workflows. Legal professionals use it to summarize case files, draft contracts, and simulate legal arguments. Tools like Supabase, Supreme Court Portal for assistance in court efficiency, assist judges by extracting key facts, organizing case material, and supporting legal research. A junior officer reviewing land records might use AI to highlight inconsistencies or generate summaries of legal clauses. This speeds up verification and reduces errors. Even in mass event management, generative AI is proving its worth. During Mahakumbh 2025, AI tools monitored railway passenger flow and supported multilingual chatbots. These systems generated real-time crowd updates and guided people efficiently, setting a global benchmark for tech-driven public service. Generative AI also supports climate resilience. Platforms like GenCast allow citizens to contribute localized weather data, which AI uses to generate accurate forecasts. The Mission Mausam project combines satellite data and AI to improve flood prediction and make India more climate smart. These systems don't just analyze, they generate alerts and summaries that help communities prepare. In agriculture, generative AI is helping farmers make smarter decisions. Project Farm Vibes in Baramati uses AI to generate localized farming recommendations. It simulates crop scenarios, optimizes irrigation, and even predicts post-harvest outcomes. This has led to increased crop production and reduced waste, making farming more sustainable. Behind all these applications is a simple idea. Generative AI turns data into language, images, or simulations that feel natural and useful. It doesn't just automate, it communicates. And that's what makes it so powerful. Whether it's helping a policymaker draft a report or guiding a farmer through seasonal risks, generative AI is becoming a quiet partner in decision-making. As we move forward, generative AI will continue to shape how we work, learn, and make decisions. But its true impact depends on how thoughtfully we apply it. The first draft may come from a machine, but the final word must reflect human insight, empathy, and responsibility.
a note about the recent circular on digital record keeping. You open your computer and quickly type into a search engine like Google or Bing, latest government circular on digital record keeping 2024. Within seconds, the search engine lists links, official websites, PDFs, and news articles. You scan them, find the correct circular from the Department of Administrative Reforms, and download it. Task done. Quick, precise, and reliable. That's what search engines do best. They're like the helpful colleague who always knows where the files are kept. You ask where something is, and they tell you exactly where to find it. Later that afternoon, your officer asks you to summarize this circular and write a short paragraph explaining how it applies to our office. Now, this task is not just about finding information. It's about understanding, analyzing, and presenting it clearly. So you turn to generative AI such as ChatGPT, Copilot, or Gemini and type, summarize this government circular on digital record keeping. Explain its impact on district level officers in simple language. Within moments, the AI gives you a concise summary, highlights the key provisions, and even explains how the policy may improve file management in your department. This time, the AI didn't just show you where the information is, it helped you make sense of it. Think of it this way: search engines like Google are like your reference desk, fast, factual, and focused on retrieval. They give you the documents, dates, and data. Generative AI like ChatGPT are like the experienced colleague who helps you understand a rule, draft a note, or rephrase an official letter in a better way. Let's take another example. Suppose you want to know how to write an office note for sanctioning stationery purchase. A search engine will show you templates, government websites, and examples from various departments. A great place to start. But a generative AI can go further. You can ask, write a sample office note for stationery purchase under government rules in formal tone. The AI will draft a sample note, structured, polite, and clear, something you can adapt for your own office. In simple terms, use search engines like Google and Bing when you want facts, figures, or official documents. Use generative AI like ChatGPT, Gemini, Copilot, and others when you want to interpret, summarize, or create something new using that information. Search engine helps you find what you need. Generative AI helps you understand and use what you find. It can even create conceptual images for government communication, illustrations, banners, infographics, and more, using Nano Banana, Midjourney, DALL-E, and more. We are entering an era where all these tools complement each other, from search to sense making to creating polished outputs. Together, they make your daily tasks, from drafting letters to designing presentations, smoother and faster. As we move ahead in this course, we'll explore how to use these AI tools effectively to save time, write better, design better, and think smarter. Because in today's workplace, knowing which tool to ask makes all the difference. It's Monday morning, and you have just received a new assignment. Prepare a short PowerPoint presentation on how AI can strengthen citizen services in India. You start by reading some articles and then turn to search engines like Google. You type AI in Public Services India, and within seconds, your screen fills with results, news stories about AI in agriculture, a Niti Aayog article on responsible AI, and a few case studies from state governments using chatbots for citizen support. You open multiple tabs, skim a few more articles, bookmark some key reports. You find one statistic on crop yield prediction, another on healthcare diagnostics, and a quote from a senior policymaker. Your notes start to take shape, lots of data, lots of facts, but it still feels scattered. You've gathered information. Now you need to turn it into a story, something coherent, convincing, and uniquely yours. So you switch over to ChatGPT. You type, I've collected some data on how AI is improving government services in India. Can you help me draft a one-page document?
ChatGPT reads what you share and in seconds gives you a crisp, well-structured draft. It suggests a flow. Start with the challenge of scale in government services, follow with examples of AI in agriculture, healthcare, and citizen engagement, and close with a paragraph on ethics and inclusion. You like it, but you're not done yet. You say, make it sound more formal. Add a short opening line that sets the context for government officials. Now rewrite the conclusion to sound more optimistic. And ChatGPT adapts line by line, thought by thought, until your document reads exactly the way you want it to. That's the magic of these two tools. Google gives data from multiple sources in a disconnected way, and it is your job to collate everything. Write the information with appropriate introduction, subsections, conclusion, etc. However, ChatGPT provides information in a structured and presentable way with all the required subheaders and with a conclusive remark. With Google, you dive deep into facts, data, and expert opinions, verifying details, comparing perspectives, and gathering credible sources. With ChatGPT, you step back to see the bigger picture, shaping those insights into a narrative that communicates your point clearly and confidently. Think of Google as the research assistant who brings you everything that exists out there, and ChatGPT as the editor and thought partner who helps you make sense of it. Current-day ChatGPT, Copilot, and other such applications can also provide you with the links that it referred to while responding to your queries if prompted correctly. And modern-day Google Chrome or such browsers also have an AI mode where you can access AI-generated summary of your search. Of course, both have their strengths. Google is unmatched when it comes to real-time, verified, and source-based information, perfect for checking facts, finding the latest policies, or reviewing published research. It's your bridge to the most current and credible data. ChatGPT, on the other hand, excels at reasoning, summarizing, and expressing ideas. It can help you draft concept notes, craft speeches, refine tone, or transform dense material into something clear and engaging. It's ideal for when you already have the information and now need to turn it into something insightful, persuasive, or action-ready. Together, they take you from searching to understanding, from collecting to creating, transforming the way you learn, think, and communicate. But here's a word of caution. ChatGPT doesn't access live government databases or official portals, and it's not meant for confidential material. So never share internal or sensitive documents with it. So the next time you're writing a note, a brief, or a concept paper, remember, start with Google to explore what's out there. Then turn to ChatGPT to clarify what you think about it. But be careful about not uploading any confidential data to ChatGPT. Because in today's world, information alone isn't enough. It's insight that creates impact. And as we move ahead, we'll uncover how tools like ChatGPT transform the way we learn, think, and create together.
Can you ask GPT about any information? Well, yes, as current day GPT can fetch information from the web also. Let's ask GPT to summarize the National Education Policy or NEP of 2020 in about 450 words. However, GPT can also add the references or reference links from which it is gathering the information, which you can use to verify if it is using the correct documents. However, because in this case GPT didn't cite the correct documents, we will go back to a search engine and find the correct document. Now that we have located the correct document, we have downloaded it, then uploaded it into GPT and asked to keep the document as reference after analysis. Remember, do not upload any official, confidential, or sensitive information or document on any AI platform. Now that it has analyzed the document, let's ask GPT to summarize the section Holistic Development of Learners and generate the output as a bulleted list. Next, we prompt to know what bodies will lead the implementation of this policy and explain and describe in 500 words. Finally, we prompt GPT to create a table explaining which or what principles would guide the implementation.
You see children in the neighborhood and decide to play a game with them. You ask a child, what is 3 and 3? One says, it's 6. Another says, 2 numbers. And a third proudly shouts, 33. Now, all of them are answering you, but not in the way you expected. Why? Because your question wasn't clear enough. That's exactly how generative AI works. The way you ask decides what you get. And that question you ask, that's called a prompt. A prompt is simply how you tell AI what you want, like giving instructions to your colleague, friend, or your family member to do something you want them to do. If you say, tell me something about the Ministry of Power, you might get an introduction to it, or even an overall mission and vision of the ministry. But if you upload the ministry's annual report and then say, generate a one-page summary of this annual report, you are telling the system exactly what you want, and it responds with a clear, focused output. And if you're dealing with something huge, like the economic survey, a prompt as simple as, create a 5-slide presentation based on this report, transforms a heavy document into an easy-to-share deck. And if you say something like, generate a downloadable PowerPoint, PPTX, it will give you a file you can directly download and use.
Similarly, you can even use prompts to turn a recorded discussion into structured minutes of meeting.
It's like talking to your colleagues or team members. The clearer you are with your instructions, the better they understand. In today's world, students summarizing lessons to small business owners, writing emails, prompts are quietly shaping how we interact with technology. But here's a word of caution. It can sometimes make mistakes or mix facts. So always review what it says, just like checking a child's homework. Because in the world of AI, your question is your superpower. Ask clearly and make intelligence work with you. Early morning, the sun has just started to shine with a cool breeze blowing, and you walk into your favorite breakfast place. You approach the lady taking orders and ask her, can I have something for breakfast? She smiles back and tells you about the available options for the day and asks, what would you like to have? Now imagine if you would have asked, can I have a cup of tea without sugar and a plate of idli, please? The lady might have responded, serving you right now. That right there is what a prompt is all about. A prompt is the way we talk to an AI system, the instruction or request we give it to generate a response. Just like the lady at the hotel needs clarity to make your perfect cup of tea or your choice of breakfast, the AI needs a clear and detailed prompt to give you a meaningful, useful response. In simple terms, a prompt is the text or input you provide to a generative AI tool like ChatGPT, Gemini, or Copilot. It could be a question such as, explain the history of the Taj Mahal, a command, write a summary of this document, or even a creative task like, write a birthday poem for my friend for his 25th birthday. The AI reads your prompt, processes it based on its training data, and generates an answer that fits your request, much like a cook preparing a dish exactly as per your recipe. But here's the twist. If your recipe is vague, your dish won't turn out great. If your prompt is weak, the AI's answer won't be helpful. For example, imagine you tell an auto driver, take me to that place where we went during the last fair. He'll probably look confused, right? Because you didn't mention which fair or what place exactly, and since he doesn't know your past trips, he has no context to figure it out. AI works the same way. It needs context, clarity, and specific direction. A well-structured prompt helps the AI understand what you want, what tone to use, and how detailed the response should be. For example, a weak prompt might be, tell me about AI. However, a better prompt would be, what is AI and how I can use AI to write emails in about 150 words. The second one gives the AI direction. It now knows you're asking for clarity, not history or statistics. In the workplace, the difference can be even bigger. If a policymaker types, write a policy, the AI asks you for more details about the type or area of policy you want. But if they write, draft a work-from-home policy for the IT department with 300 employees based in India, ensuring compliance with hybrid work guidelines, the result will be specific, relevant, and usable. That's the power of structured prompting. It bridges the gap between what you want and what AI understands. So how do you build a good prompt? Think of it like giving directions to a friend who's driving to your house for the first time. If you only say, come home, they'll get lost. You'd rather say, where you live, which route to take, what to look for when they reach. A good prompt follows a similar structure. Here's a simple 3-step framework. Mention the task, add context, and finally, define the format you want the response to be. If you now combine them, you get a prompt like this. Summarize this news article about climate change for a 12-year-old student in 5 bullet points. Suddenly, the AI's response is focused, readable, and tailored. Just like a well-planned route ensures your friend reaches home without calling you 10 times. Think of prompting like giving a movie direction. If you tell an actor, just act, you'll get confusion on set. But if the director says, you're playing a teacher who's strict but kind, this is your first day at school, the performance improves instantly. The AI is your actor. Your prompt is the director's instruction. And the better your direction, the better your movie, or in this case, your AI-generated output. Here's how structured prompting can help in daily life. While writing an email, your prompt can be, write a polite email to reschedule a meeting with my superiors tomorrow due to a scheduling conflict. Or, for planning a trip, you might ask, suggest a 3-day itinerary for Goa with beach activities, local food, and one cultural experience. See the pattern? You're giving task plus context plus format, making AI's job and your life easier. However, it is important to remember, AI is powerful, not perfect. It doesn't know things the way humans do. It predicts answers based on patterns from its training data. That means it can sometimes make mistakes, known as hallucinations. So always validate what it generates. If you're using AI for writing reports, analyzing data, or drafting health content, double-check facts, verify numbers, and ensure compliance with policies. A well-crafted prompt isn't just about getting better AI responses. It's about thinking clearly, communicating precisely, and collaborating smartly with technology. So next time you talk to an AI tool, remember, your prompt is your superpower. Use it with intent, structure it with care, and always verify what comes back. We will explore more about prompts in the upcoming lesson. Remember, in the world of generative AI, the answer is only as good as the question you ask. Hello, and welcome back. By now, you know what prompting is, the art of asking AI the right question. But here's the real challenge. How do you make your prompts work? Today, we'll unpack what makes a strong prompt and explore a few powerful frameworks to help you do it right. Let's start simple. Imagine asking a friend where you can take your family for a vacation. Chances are, you'll get a few options. Maybe a hill station, maybe a beach, maybe a historic place, or just a city. But what if you ask them to recommend a hill station for a week, long family vacation, one with minimal travel time, fun activities, and reasonable costs? Your friend nods, smiles, and gets it exactly right. That's what a good prompt does. It gives clarity, structure, and expectations. When you talk to AI, your prompt is your recipe. The clearer and more detailed you are, the better your output. Now, what makes a great prompt? Three things: clear instructions, context and structure, and clear expectations. Let's start with the first one: clear instructions. AI doesn't read your mind. It only understands what you type. Assume you are a frontline health worker and you have an assignment of going to a nearby school to educate children on diabetes, especially early diabetes in children. If you say, "Tell me about diabetes," the AI could give you anything: symptoms, diet plans, medical details, or even irrelevant information. But if you say, "Explain early diabetes in school children of India in simple terms," for a school presentation, in under 100 words, the AI knows exactly what to do. Next comes structure and context. AI performs best when it knows who it's talking to and why. For example, you ask AI to write a 2-minute script about healthy eating for your Facebook channel. This gives the AI a clear audience, tone, and format. It's like giving your assistant not just the goal, but also the mood board. Finally, set clear expectations. If you need a report, say so. If you want bullet points, specify it. Write a summary in 5 bullet points, or write an email in a formal tone applying for a leave. Helps the AI hit the right tone and structure. Now that we know what makes a good prompt, let's explore 2 prompting frameworks. First, the RTF framework: role, task, and format. Think of it like assigning roles in a movie. Role: which role should AI assume in an act? Task: what should it do? Format: how should it present the answer? Example: act as a fitness coach. Create a 5-day yoga workout plan. Present it as a daily chart. You've given the AI a role, a task, and a structure. It's perfect for quick explainer notes, or a routine to follow. Next, the IEI framework: inform, explain. Example: input: this one's your go-to for learning, or step-by-step reasoning tasks. Inform: what do you want to learn? Explain: ask for a clear explanation. Example: request a relatable analogy. Input: add data or context. For instance, inform: I want to know how to create a Gmail account. Explain: create a step-by-step process to create. Example: use relevant examples and images to help. Input: explain the steps like you are explaining to a person who is using the internet for the first time. IEEI works beautifully anywhere. Clarity matters. These frameworks aren't rigid rules. They're tools to help you think better and communicate clearer with AI. You can even mix and match them or develop your own style over time. So as we move ahead, remember, every great prompt begins with clarity: the what, how, and why. And in our next video, imagine this: a new person joins your office. Imagine this: a new person joins your office. On their first day, you hand them a file and say, "Summarize this report and send me a note by evening." They'll do their best. But you know how that usually goes. Some points will be missing, the tone might be off, or the note might sound more like a copied report than a summary. That's because they had no guidance, no format, no example to follow. They just went by instinct. And that's exactly what happens in zero-shot prompting and AI. Welcome to the world of prompting techniques, where how you ask AI determines what you get in return. In zero-shot prompting, you give the AI a clear task, but no examples of how the answer should look. You simply tell it what to do using a framework or detailed instruction. Let's take an example. You might say, translate the sentence, the patient needs immediate hospitalization, into Tamil. The AI instantly gives you the translation based on what it already knows. It hasn't seen your preferred phrasing, tone, or format. It just relies on its built-in understanding of language. Zero-shot prompting works beautifully for simple, well-understood tasks like translating between languages, such as translate, I am learning about AI in French, generating definitions or explanations like define AI in 50 words, answering direct questions such as what is article of the Indian Constitution, general knowledge answers, for example, how to make tea. It's like asking your new office assistant, bring me today's duck file. They'll fetch it. No confusion, no training needed. The task is simple, but ask, prepare a short note about this meeting, and things get messy. No tone, no format, no clarity. You'll end up correcting and rewriting later. That's where one-shot prompting comes in. Imagine, you sit with a new clerk and say, here's how a meeting note should look. Short, to the point, and polite. Now write a similar one for today's meeting. That's one-shot prompting. You give one example of what good looks like before asking them to create something new. It's like your math teacher showing you one solved example before asking you to try another problem. Here's what it might look like in AI form. Input, summarize this text in one line. Text, Ravi missed his morning bus, so took a rickshaw and still reached office on time. Output, Ravi reached office on time despite missing his bus. Now summarize this. Neha forgot her lunch at home, so her friend shared food with her in the cafeteria. The AI now understands your tone, structure, and brevity, and applies it to the next example. One-shot prompting is great when you want consistency in tone, structure, or style, such as writing summaries of circulars, or inspection reports, drafting emails or memos, creating press briefs in a uniform format. It helps AI see what you expect, not just guess. But sometimes one example isn't enough. That's when we move to few-shot prompting. Few-shot prompting is like a short in-service training where you show multiple examples so the trainee learns the logic and pattern behind a task. For example, say you're handling maintenance complaints from citizens. You show AI how different requests are categorized based on urgency. Your prompt might look like this. Here are examples of how to classify household repair requests by urgency. Water is leaking from the kitchen pipe and flooding the floor. Category, emergency. Living room tube light is fused. Category, non-urgent. Ceiling fan is making a loud noise occasionally. Category, semi-urgent. Now classify this. The refrigerator has stopped cooling completely. Now the AI doesn't just copy, it reasons. It understands what makes something emergency or semi-urgent and applies that pattern to new examples. Few-shot prompting works best for tasks involving judgment and reasoning, such as categorizing citizen grievances, sorting reports based on importance, analyzing survey responses. It's like showing your staff how to write notes on different subjects. After 3 or 4 examples, they start writing with confidence and clarity. Think of these like levels of mentorship. Zero shot is sending a new officer straight into an exam without prep. One shot is showing them one solved example. Few shot is giving them several mock tests until they get the hang of it. Each prompting technique teaches the AI how to think, not just what to answer. So next time you're drafting a summary, a circular, or a reply using AI, treat it like training your team. Start simple, give examples, and guide it step by step. Because prompting isn't about typing fancy instructions, it's about clear communication. And the better you teach your AI, the smarter and more useful it becomes. Now, you are logged into ChatGPT or any such generative AI platform such as Google Gemini, Copilot, or Grok, and you want to write or know about AI. You can simply prompt as explain artificial intelligence AI and it will respond. However, you're not too happy with the response and want some more. Here you can try the RTF framework or the role, task, and format framework to create a prompt where you define the role as an expert science communicator skilled at simplifying complex technology for beginners. The task as write clear and engaging educational content that explains what artificial intelligence AI is, how it works in simple terms, and examples of its real-world use. And the format as produce a short article of 150 to 200 words with a friendly, easy-to-understand tone. Use short paragraphs and one relatable example to help readers visualize AI. Notice how the writing is so different from the previous one. Now you can refine the prompt as shown on screen and help GPT write a narration in a style you want. For this demonstration, we have refined the prompt that you can see on screen using the RTF format and guidelines on what to cover in the response. Hello everyone and welcome back. Now that you have learned how to create content using GPT, let's see how to write an email or respond to one. We will use some of the frameworks and techniques we covered earlier. We start with prompting to write a professional email from the PS to the Secretary of the Health Department to all deputy secretaries to attend the monthly meeting at the Secretariat and remind them to come prepared with their presentations summarizing the work done over the past month. Keep the tone formal, clear, and courteous. The response is good. However, you may want to refine it further using the COSTAR framework, which stands for Context, Objective, Style, Tone, Audience, Response. With COSTAR, the prompt will be, I am the PS to the Secretary of the Health Department. I need to draft an email to all deputy secretaries of the department, requesting them to attend the monthly meeting on the 10th of January at 3 p.m. scheduled at the Secretariat. They should come prepared with presentations of 5 to 6 slides each, summarizing the work undertaken in their respective divisions over the past 1 month, in line with the identified agenda points. It helps structure a much more precise and effective prompt. But if you're still not satisfied with the format, you can include an example email of your own to show the AI exactly what style and tone to model. This prompt now uses a combination of a one-shot example and the COSTA framework. Now notice how the outcome is different from the previous one. We have already explored how to create content, write emails, and respond to emails using GPT. We have also seen how to use various frameworks, prompting techniques, and use a combination of both for best results. Let us try them again to create or generate a memo. First, we will use the RTF framework to write a formal office memorandum addressed to all central government departments, instructing them not to upload any government or confidential documents on AI platforms. Clearly mention that only documents already in the public domain may be uploaded, which is the task, and we assign GPT the role of a senior officer from the Department of Personnel and Training, DOPT, Government of India. Finally, for format, we instruct to use the standard government office memorandum style with subject line, reference, body, and closing. Maintain a formal, authoritative, and concise tone. Though the response is nice, it might still be missing some key aspects. Now, let's add an example. That is, combine the framework with one-shot prompting technique. Your prompt might look like this. Notice how the format and response is improved from the previous one, and follow the style you want to write in. However, always validate and verify what the GPT provides you with as a response. Fine-tune, edit, and update the output to add the finer official details and additional information you need to add. Now let's use ChatGPT and use it for data analytics and drawing insights from the data. First, let us prompt the GPT and feed it with some data that we want to analyze. Please note that the data we are adding here is for representation only. When you are using GPT, do not upload any confidential data, reports, or any such sensitive documents. You can only upload documents or reports that are in the public domain. As a first task, we ask the GPT to create a visual or graphical representation of the data that was uploaded, and see how GPT creates a nice histogram. You can define when prompting the kind of data visualization you want to create, or even the color schemes that you can use. However, always verify the output before using. Next, let's ask to generate a brief synthesis of the data or provide some insights to the data presented. However, as this is a long, free-flowing text, let's ask GPT to format this into a table. Finally, let's ask GPT to create 3 evidence-based recommendations for improving recruitment processes. Notice how GPT remembers our previous preference of a table for such data, and it generated the recommendations using a table. However, always verify and validate the responses that GPT creates. Though powerful and efficient, you should always use your wisdom and knowledge over AI, as AI can't beat your wisdom, not yet. Can these generative AI be your personal advisor, or can they be your personal soundboard? Well, sure they can. If prompted right, they can analyze ideas, documents, and even be your personal soundboard for advice. Let's prompt GPT to create a 15-minute office workout routine that you can do in your office or at home to stay active during busy work days. Let's also define that the exercises should require minimal or no equipment and focus on stress relief, improving posture, and boosting energy during sedentary office hours. Note how GPT asks you if you would like a printable version so that you can put it up on your desk and follow. However, the response felt a little too generic. Now let's assign the role of a certified fitness coach and refine the prompt with a few more details. Note how the response changes into a more structured and detailed professional response. Let's add some more context to the prompt and use another framework, the COSTA framework, and see how GPT responds, adding an example to get an output the way I want it to be. You can keep prompting till you are happy with the output, format, and even ask GPT to create a downloadable presentation or a PDF and much more. However, it is important to remember not only to validate the responses, but you should also always consult an expert before following such advice, especially when it comes to medicines, finance, and such critical things in life. Imagine you've asked your local tailor to stitch a shirt. You simply say, "Make a shirt for me." He nods politely. But what kind of shirt? Full sleeves? Half sleeves? White? Or checks? Or stripes? Without details, you may end up with something wearable, but not quite what you wanted. Prompting an AI works exactly the same way. The better you describe what you need, the better the result. That's what we mean by prompting effectively, giving the AI clear instructions, context, and examples so it truly understands your goal. Let's start with the basics, prompting frameworks. These are like blueprints for talking to AI. There are a few popular frameworks like RTF, IEEF, CoStar, and so on that make prompting easier. One such framework is RTF: role, task, format. You tell the AI who it should be, what to do, and how to present it. For example, act as a travel planner. Suggest a 2-day trip to Jaipur for a family of 4. Present it as a table with day-wise activities. You've given it a role, travel planner, a task, suggest trip, and a format, table. The result? Clear, relevant, and easy to use. Another powerful framework you can use is CoStar: context, objective, style, tone, audience, and response format. It's like briefing your wedding photographer. You explain the event, what moments matter, what mood you want, and who it's for. For instance, context writing for a housing board newsletter. Objective: explain solar rooftop benefits. Style: simple, tone friendly. Audience: residents. Format: short paragraph. You've handed the AI everything it needs to deliver the perfect output. Now combine these frameworks with prompting techniques: zero shot, one shot, and few shot prompting. If you're asking the AI to do something new, like write a slogan for Swachh Bharat, that's zero shot. If you show it one example like quote clean India, green India, to write another slogan, that's one shot. And if you give it multiple examples to learn the pattern, that's few shot. You can mix frameworks and techniques too. For example, act as a copywriter, role, write a slogan about road safety, task. Example: seatbelts don't restrict you, they protect you. Now write 2 more in similar tone. The AI knows who it is, what to do, how to do it, and what examples to follow. Prompting effectively is not about using fancy words. It's about clarity and purpose. Like explaining work to a colleague, give your AI context, a clear goal, relevant examples, and the desired format. Because in the world of AI, good prompts don't just get good answers. They get the right answers. Prompting efficiently is not about typing fast. It's about thinking clearly. Here's another important point to keep in mind. Never upload or paste internal notes, citizen data, or classified files into public AI tools. You wouldn't share confidential government documents with an outsider, right? The same rule applies to AI. Instead, use enterprise grade or official AI platforms approved by your department, ones that protect your data and maintain privacy. And remember, AI can sometimes hallucinate. That means it might give wrong or imaginary information, but sound confident while doing so. So always verify the output. Check figures, confirm dates, and review official sources before forwarding or filing anything. To prompt efficiently, you also need to know your AI's knowledge cutoff, how current its data is. Check whether it can browse the web for updates. Once you're clear on its capabilities, frame your prompts clearly and responsibly. And no matter how confident the response sounds, always validate every answer before using it. When you use AI wisely, it becomes your smartest assistant, helping you draft notes, summarize reports, and prepare documents faster and better. But when you use it blindly, it can lead to mistakes, just like forwarding an old order thinking it's new. So prompt with clarity, think with care, and verify with confidence. Because in today's digital world, the real skill isn't in asking questions. It's in asking them efficiently and responsibly. Imagine it's a Monday morning in your office. The inbox is full. The file stack looks taller than Mount Abu, and 3 departments are waiting for your note before lunch. You have a report to summarize, a reply to draft for a citizen's grievance, and a brief to prepare for your senior officer, all before the review meeting. Now, imagine you had a digital assistant sitting beside you, one that could draft a clear email, summarize a long report into bullet points, or even help you write a crisp policy brief, all within minutes. You'd still make the final call, but your day would suddenly feel a lot lighter. That's the promise of generative AI for better governance. Not to replace human intelligence, but to amplify it. But here's the key. While AI can help generate, you must ensure it's responsible, because AI, like a well-meaning but overconfident clerk, can sometimes fill gaps with wrong information. It can hallucinate, confidently give a wrong date, quote, or reference. That's why your role as a human reviewer and decision maker remains essential. You can use AI responsibly and effectively in public service, and can utilize AI for better efficiency and accuracy in your day-to-day work. You can use AI to generate an email response or office note that's clear, professional, and accurate, or create a policy brief responsibly, ensuring AI to help structure ideas without bias or misinformation. However, you need to understand how human judgment and AI collaboration go hand in hand, like a cricket coach and team. Where the coach, you, who sets the strategy, and the players, AI, execute the plan. It is also important to remember that you must use AI responsibly, safely, carefully, and ethically, covering privacy, accuracy, and ethical boundaries. Reflect on how Gen AI fits into your specific role, whether you're in administration, finance, health, or citizen service delivery. AI isn't just a buzzword, it's a practical friend and assistant. Used wisely, it can help you become faster, smarter, and more citizen focused, while keeping trust, fairness, and accountability at the heart of governance. Imagine standing in a long queue at a government office to get a form signed. The fan squeaks overhead. Someone's searching for a missing file and you're hoping your turn comes soon. Now imagine doing the same task from your phone, asking a chatbot a question, uploading your form, and getting an instant confirmation. No waiting, no confusion, no middlemen. That's how AI or artificial intelligence is slowly transforming governance in India, turning complex processes into smart, accessible, and transparent services. It's helping officers make faster decisions, citizens get answers in their own languages, and the government deliver public services more efficiently. Let's see how this quiet revolution is unfolding. Have you used Indian Railways Ask Disha 2.0? It's an AI-powered chatbot that lets passengers ask questions about trains, tickets, or refunds anytime, even in the middle of the night. Or the Digidan Mitra chatbot that helps citizens understand digital payment systems. These tools work round the clock, in multiple Indian languages, reducing queues, confusion, and waiting time. Whether it's a farmer in Odisha or a shopkeeper in Gujarat, everyone can now access government portals, forms, and helplines in their own tongue. AI is not just making governance digital, it's making it inclusive. You can also use DigiLocker services on your phone and have all your documents such as PAN card, driving licenses, and even educational certificates. You can always have them at your fingertips. Imagine how long it would take if every policy were written based only on manual surveys and reports. Now AI can sift through millions of data points, from rainfall to healthcare data, to help design better evidence-based policies. In agriculture, tools like Kisan Mitra provide farmers with personalized crop and weather advice. In urban planning, AI models help simulate traffic flow and manage waste disposal, allowing smarter and cleaner cities. In healthcare, telemedicine platforms like eSanjeevani and AI-based diagnostics help doctors reach patients in the remotest villages, ensuring no one is left behind. Even disaster management has improved. AI models used by the India Meteorological Department predict cyclones and floods with greater accuracy, giving authorities time to act and save lives. AI is also becoming the new Sahayak in government offices. It automates repetitive tasks like file tracking, application processing, and data verification. This lets officers focus on what truly matters: policy making, citizen engagement, and on-ground implementation. For example, AI dashboards now monitor how public funds are used in welfare schemes, highlighting irregularities before they become major issues. These systems create real-time transparency, reducing the chances of fraud and corruption. The judiciary too is joining the AI movement. The Supreme Court SUVAS, Supreme Court Vidik Anuvad software, uses AI to translate judgments into regional languages, making justice more accessible to citizens across India. In law enforcement, predictive tools and facial recognition systems help police identify hotspots, track missing persons, and improve safety. But these tools are used with strict oversight to ensure fairness, privacy, and accountability. Behind these innovations is a national effort, the India AI Mission, which aims to build an indigenous AI ecosystem suited to India's linguistic and cultural diversity. Under this mission, India is developing its own large language models like Bharat AI, capable of understanding and generating content in 22 Indian languages. And it's not just government-backed models. Private innovators are also contributing, like Mumbai-based Fractal, which recently launched Fathom R114B, an open-source AI model that delivers high-level reasoning at a fraction of the global cost. It's proof that India is not just adopting AI, it's shaping it. Generative AI is not replacing people, it's amplifying their abilities. A government clerk can now use AI to draft reports faster. A district officer can use it to summarize citizen feedback. A policymaker can use it to analyze state-level data in minutes instead of weeks. It's like having a digital assistant who never gets tired, but the final judgment still rests with the human. It's this collaboration of humans and AI leading towards a better governance and a better future. In short, AI is becoming India's new partner in governance, a tool that listens, learns, and helps. From railways to ration cards, from hospitals to highways, it's making systems smarter, services faster, and governance more inclusive. Because better governance isn't just about technology, it's about making every citizen's experience simpler, fairer, and more human. And that's exactly where AI is taking us. When you withdraw cash from an ATM, you don't just take the money and walk away. You quickly count it, check the receipt, and make sure the amount is correct. It's a simple habit, but it protects you from mistakes or fraud. Using AI responsibly works the same way. Whether you're drafting a report, asking for advice, or generating an image, you must verify what comes out. Check for accuracy, ensure privacy, and confirm that it aligns with facts and ethics. Just as you wouldn't blindly trust an ATM to be perfect every time, you shouldn't trust AI outputs without reviewing them. Whether it's for work or in personal life, using generative AI responsibly and safely means staying in charge, knowing where the risks are, and protecting yourself from misinformation or fraud. Imagine you see a WhatsApp message featuring a video of a famous cricket star urging you to invest in a trading app. It looks real, confident, even urgent. That's exactly how scammers used a deepfake featuring AI-generated content to dupe a 79-year-old Bengaluru woman out of most of her savings. So how do you stay safe? How do you use AI responsibly? Let's break this down step by step. First, always know the source and the limits. Remember, AI tools like chatbots or virtual assistants are not perfect. They can remix public data, create plausible-looking responses, and sometimes twins of real voices and faces. In the Bengaluru case, deepfake videos of renowned public figures were used to build trust and pull the victim into a fake AI trading trap. To stay safe, always check the URL, verify with official government portals ending with .gov.in, and if something asks for urgent action with money, pause. Next, use AI as an assistant, not your trusted expert. Think of AI as your digital junior officer. It drafts, suggests, translates, and summarizes. But you, the human officer or citizen, do the final review. While AI may generate reports or draft emails, the responsibility lies with you. If AI suggests a policy note, read it, edit it, check facts, and ensure the tone suits your office workflow. Then be careful about what you share. Don't overshare. Don't upload everything. Uploading confidential files, citizen data, identifiers like Aadhaar, or unvetted documents to a public AI system is like letting someone loose in a bank safe. The dangers? Exposure of personal data, or PHI, protected health information, generation of false-looking reports or legal content. Remember, AI has a knowledge cutoff. Some systems can't pull live data, so they may regurgitate outdated or misleading responses. Also, stay vigilant against deepfakes and misinformation. During the June 2025 crash of Air India Flight 171, fake AI-generated crash reports and videos circulated before authorities could react. These incidents show how fast misinformation spreads and how AI can amplify it. What to do? Look for verified channels first, such as Press Information Bureau. Cross-check with primary sources and use official helplines when in doubt. Finally, protect yourself with some concrete steps. Set a practice. Generate a draft, review tone and accuracy, and add references. Ask, what's your source? What's your confidence? When AI gives you data, don't assume an AI-generated endorsement or statistic is final. Use government-approved AI tools for official work, not just free online ones. Keep your personal data offline or on trusted platforms when possible. Using AI is like skiing with a coach rather than going solo on a steep slope. Technology can take you fast, but you decide where to turn and when to apply brakes. Whether in a district office or at home, smart and safe use of AI means you remain in the driver's seat. Because at the end of the day, AI should serve us, not lead us blindly. Congratulations, you've successfully completed the Artificial Intelligence for Karma Yogis course, your first big step toward using AI confidently and responsibly in your daily work. Let's quickly recap what you've learned. You started by understanding what artificial intelligence, AI, is, from simple rule-based systems to today's generative AI, Gen AI, that can write, summarize, translate, and even create ideas. It's like moving from a clerk who follows instructions to an assistant who helps you think, plan, and draft better. You explored how AI is already helping the government serve citizens better through chatbots like Ask Disha for railway queries, Bhashini for language translation, and Digi Yatra for smoother airport travel, ensuring that AI supports citizens in every language, region, and service. Then you learned about prompting, the art of asking AI the right question. A vague prompt like write about health gives unclear results, but a specific one, write a 100-word summary on how AI supports public health programs in India, delivers exactly what you need. You also discovered how to use prompting frameworks such as RTF and CoStar to give clear roles, context, and formats. Most importantly, you learned to use AI responsibly to verify information, protect privacy, and ensure fairness. AI can assist, but it still needs human judgment. Just like you check the cash after an ATM withdrawal, you must always review what AI gives you. Now that you've had a quick recap, let's talk about the key takeaways from the course. Be clear and specific with your prompts. Use AI as an assistant, not a decision maker. Always fact check and protect sensitive data, and apply human judgment for fairness and accuracy. Congratulations again. You're now ready to use AI smartly, safely, and for better governance.